You are listening to a Rowan, Rook and Deckard actual play. And this is Till Death Do Us Hard.
Welcome to the latest episode of the Heart podcast we are recording. I'm Kieron Gillen and I'm joined here today by Naomi. Who are you playing today?
Hi, I'm Naomi and today I'm playing Hiker, who is a handless gnoll.
This is terrible. I generally can't jam this game anymore because anytime Hiker says anything I fall to pieces. And I know eventually I'm going to have to do a German accent too, and it's unfair. Okay, Nathan, who are you playing today?
Hello, I am once again Nathan. Welcome. I will be playing the one and only Velvet Monte Carlo, the Witch.
Grant, whom are you playing today?
Hello, I'm Grant. I'm playing Castor Scrift, a junk mage.
And Ed, who are you playing today?
I am Edward Spence. I am playing Searle Clogs the Throat, an Elfir Deadwalker.
And we can segue into Heart. Okay. Let's say a black screen again, as if we're buried in earth, or buried in something like significantly stickier than earth. And we hear a heartbeat. And it's steady, the bump, bump. And then it changes into 6 beats. Bump, 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 bump. And we kind of fade in on a younger Velvet. And you're in a room deeper into the heart than you'd ever been before in your life. You're much younger. The walls are wet and sticky, and they move with that rhythmical 6 beat. No heart normally beats like that, but you're there. This is when you became a witch. This is when the blood of the heart entered you and changed you forever. What do you remember about that day? What was the ceremony like?
Because we've established that this happens at such a young age, they try and do as much as they can to make it feel like a kid's birthday party, a quinceanera, but the wider context of it is still so miserable. It doesn't help. They do their best to make it feel like it's a fun time. There are maybe some streamers up. There is a cake. It's, blood red, which makes it very appetizing.
All of Velvet's friends are gathered around, bashing on this kind of weird, tumorous pinata hanging from the ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
It screams.
Yeah. It gently yelps, and occasionally bursts into song. Ed, what's the first thing people see when they know the games have begun?
I think there is a general smearing on the walls, just grabbing whatever detritus there is on the ground, and just not in any way that is meant to be sinister or ominous in any way, although to an outside observer it would absolutely seem that. Like when you see markers in a house of people marking the growth of their children, this feels like that.
That's nice. It's all that kind of, this beginning. And it's like, everything seems quite calm for that. But Naomi, what's the first thing that scares Velvet in this? The thing that it's suddenly too big and too adult?
I feel like if we're sticking with this children's birthday theme, in my head it's strange past the parcel essentially, but it's always destined to land on the child at the centre of it. So I think there's maybe some music playing and then it suddenly stops. And Velvet opens a package that is full of fingers and entrails and squirming maggots.
Oh, yay! I won. What am I supposed to do with this, by the way? It's a very nice present, but I'd rather go and have some more cake. Can we have some more cake, please?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, imagine your mother putting your hands gently on shoulder says, "This is your cake, my dear."
I feel like in the Pass the Parcel, when you get to the middle of the paper, you still have to, open it. I feel like Velvet has to dig her hands into it for some sort of item.
Yeah, there is a lot of glancing at grandmas and aunties and granduncles, and they're all, for maybe the first time today, quite stony-faced and insistent. All right. And she plunges her hand in.
Grant, what does she find?
There is a withered, ancient, leathery heart inside. And it has, like normally where there'd be a fat build-up on the inside of it, it's been gold-leafed. But it starts to beat in Violet's hand, and blood starts to drip out of it. And this is the Elder's heart. This is a potent heart indeed.
And your mother's urging you on. What do you do?
She's too young to have seen anybody else do this. but she does know that a great auntie Gracie had one of these, or like a replica, in her home. Oh, so yeah, I suppose we'll do it the way that I was showed. And this makes no sense. The reality of this would immediately kill a person in real life. Even within the nature of the heart, people can't do this. But she unlocks the front of her chest and opens it and takes out her heart and puts the mummified heart, the ancient heart, inside, and just kind of sits for a while just the nature of the rhythm changes to become a witch. You are instilled with what some would describe as a blood curse. The blood that runs through your veins is just no longer yours. It is tainted in some way. And what easier way to pump round an entirely different set of blood cells in your body than to just change your heart entirely?
Every single blood cell in your body gains shape, starts squirming, dancing inside you. You feel rhythms beyond your imagining in there, that 6 beat running through your chest. And your mother kind of says to you, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you, Velvet. The heart wants what the heart wants. And the heart wants us to help people. You will help so many people. That is what your heart wants. We skip back to the present day. We are down a tunnel. We're actually heading down away from the God of Corpses, heading down towards the shunt yard. Just trudging down these kind of mechanical pathways, but you saw something ahead. This figure with 3 people in her chest, 3 people in her head, no face, made of liquid blue, sounding like ice every time she touches anything, and dancing quite beautifully, more beautiful than anything you've ever seen before, arguably. And she seems familiar. What about her seems familiar to you, Velvet?
I think it is the dance that she's doing is so unique. You know you've mastered an art when it's not that you can just perform it, but you've done something to make it significantly recognizably yours. And I have seen this dance at multiple family gatherings.
Okay, tell the listeners briefly what you look like in this moment.
Velvet Monte Carlo is a relatively mundane-looking human for the setting, at the very least. No mechanical replacements as humans on the surface are wont to have. A very deep complexion, almost plum in the shadows of it, wearing a very gothic, slightly lacy adventurer's gear, puffy leather armor with the frills. She doesn't always look like that, though. When she has to work, she can unpeel that back to something a lot more elaborate, abstract, rapturous. Even though I don't think other people in the space have seen her, there is a reasonably loud, oh no, I don't, sorry, you've not...
I think there's something wrong with this barometer. It's supposed to do trains, right? Castor, who looks like Withnail from Withnail and I, but a drow, turns up to interact with Velvet. Do you think your magic... Oh, is a friend of yours?
Yeah, family, maybe?
Say no more, say no more. I understand. I don't understand.
Have you ever seen an angel before?
Like a heart angel?
Yeah.
I'd say I have, but I haven't.
Your immediate impression is, you think it might be an angel.
Right, okay. What I've heard about them is they are made of moving crystal, beautiful rock formations that speed up and come after you.
She looks slightly damper than that. Still got the kind of like, oh, nice, it's a crystal. That's kind of the energy you're getting off. It looks like bad news.
Yeah.
Beautiful bad news, but still. Do you make noise? Do you shout? Pike is probably feeling sad. Soil's feeling very moody.
Has it clocked us yet? Is it like dancing towards us in an exciting way?
It's almost like it's trying to urge you to come along. The Pied Piper doesn't exist in this world, but whatever Pied Piper metaphor is...
Sure, yeah, why not? Yeah. I've accepted worse offers this week. I'm fascinated to see what this thing's like. I'm not sure it's an angel. I'm going to get closer and give it a really good sniff, because I can smell magic, and I'm interested to see if I can learn something about it, or just experience the smell. So
Castor is immediately starting to head along the corridor. Hiker, at this point, you're probably disturbed by the drunk mage heading off again.
Castor makes a lot of noise when he runs.
Yeah.
Like, I want you to imagine I've got 22 pence coins in either pocket when I run. Yeah.
Okay, what does Hiker look like when she looks up?
Handless Hiker, I think, turns around and she's like, oh, is this someone cool that you know?
Well, she thinks she's cool.
I've had that before. There was this girl like before Louisa, very same like vibe.
You know, have you had like a stylish auntie with like vocal air quotes around stylish?
She seems like we can work it out. And I'm going to wave and say, yoo-hoo, hello.
Soil, you've probably been finishing your brooding as you kind of realise everyone else is chatting about aunties and Castor's running off like a fruit machine on legs.
Was Soil this very skeletal individual, long pointed ears poking out from beneath a filigree golden mask? As he looks up, all he knows about the heart and the city beneath is what Castor has told him. And so as he looks up to see his friend and the figure beyond, an angel! And immediately just starts running after Castor.
Who do you think's faster, Castor or Soil? I'm going to ask that to Velvet.
Castor would normally be faster if unencumbered, but because you're carrying so many magical ingredients and you're trying not to trip over yourself, eventually Skeletor's legs catch up with you.
Picking up his robes a little bit and just running forward, just...
Soil is about to leave, then you realise something. You see a ghostly hand on your shoulder, and you almost hear the voice, no, don't.
Soil immediately just stops. Immediately where he is, and just sort of almost like a... as he just stands there, and Castor just...
Yeah, like elbows past him, dropping like some lit incense and a couple of candles.
You get close, out of breath, and as you're within reach of the... I'm going to call it the Ice Angel, even though you're pretty sure it's not an angel. You see all the little people dancing inside her head smile at you. Curtsy.
Oh, wow.
She throws her arms around you in utter happiness. She's about 8 foot tall, and spins you around happily, then puts you back on the ground. Hello, 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 hello.
Hello.
You must follow me right now.
Are you en route to the shunt yard? We're after a train.
That is the way you will go.
Tremendous! She's with us! I yell back to the group.
Come this way. Come quite now. And she starts to skip backwards.
Castor goes to hold her hand and then catches himself.
She sort of looks back at Velvet and that kind of, we all become our aunts in time. You will. Annoyingly, you realise she's speaking in 6-word bursts, which is a frustrating habit she has here. Oh, and the really creepy thing you realise, each of the 6 people say one of the words. So her voice is moving around her body as she does so.
So annoying. She's so extra.
She's so cool.
Velvet in catching up, being like... Could you at least wait for me to, introduce my friends instead of going in all,
Oh, of course. Dreadfully sorry, I say. Stop and turn and then bow. Castor Script. Humble wizard at your service.
No. You don't need to do that. She could at least introduce, meet Auntie Gracie. She is, unique.
She certainly is.
As a general thing, I love her vibe.
She's your aunt.
Yeah, not... I was going to say not by blood, but considering the circumstances, yeah. Mm-hmm,
You wag.
So, what do we owe the honour? I was doing, I think, pretty well by myself. I don't think I needed the help. Thank you.
You do not need help right here. Help you need slightly later. Near the shunt yard, we will talk, and then one of you will kill me. And she starts skipping backwards.
Gosh, she's so cool.
Yeah, cool. Are we taking, dibs, or who is doing the killing? Because I'm not really, feeling it today.
First come, first served.
Yeah, if she asks me nicely enough, I'll do it.
You all can try, I guess.
There is no try. Things will happen. What happens, happens. What doesn't, doesn't. We must make what not happen, happen. See you soon. And she immediately starts running backwards, faster than you are able of going. On the bright side, this does give you a bit of an idea which way you possibly go into the shunt yard if you want to follow her.
God, 100%.
So anyone roll the D6 boon?
Ooh. In terms of, leading this delve following her.
This is following her delve, so you're going to get slightly through further in this thing.
Sure, I'll roll a D6 for that. That's a 4.
Fantastic, a good start. After the horror and all the awful biological metaphors involving the god of corpses, this is quite nice. This is like a series of leftover tunnels and utilities. Cables occasionally make you think it's a snake and make you kind of jump out petrified. But apart from that, it's pretty good.
I think as they're walking, Soil would probably come a little bit closer to Velvet, whispering almost of fear of who might be listening. As footsteps echo around these corridors. This Auntie Gracie, you know them well?
Yeah. She was around for a lot of my early training. She taught me everything I know. And Velvet gives you, a customer service smile, not a genuine one.
Training to be
To help people.
Angelic.
Oh, well, I guess that's, oh god, do I have to, look like her when that's, so gauche. No, in terms of training to help people, right, to make their dreams come true, there's kind of quota isn't quite the right word, but they're keeping track, Like you're preordained to be able to help a certain amount within the time that you're around, and they kind of every so often check to see how you're going on. But obviously, if it's preordained, they should already fucking know. I don't know why. Sorry.
No apologies needed.
There's a couple of corpses ahead. That's the first thing you notice. They're face down, and what you've realised is a kind of bile from the god of corpses above. They were trying to run at pace, hit this bile, fell over, and is decomposing. I haven't really explained what the shooting yard is. It's basically a place where all the old Vermissian trains were kind of kept before they're going to go in place. So basically a load of old trains are down there. There's always a load of old junkies down there, if you're willing to go in and rob it, which some people are. And some people do that and get out and, buy their drinks. And some people do that and end up face down in a dead god's bile. There's enough cabling, you can probably get over that area, I reckon, if you wanted to.
I do actually have a minor fault, which is desperate need to dissect some bodies. So I feel like if there's 2 corpses, I should probably investigate them. There's a sudden vision of that body being slowly filled with bees.
Heiko, would you mind keeping the head and lungs of one free for just one moment?
By free, do you mean like out, or do you mean like in situ? Because I'm going to make like some changes.
Still able to have a little chat with us.
Cool. That doesn't really help me like at all. In fact, it's very kind of vague.
You know what, Heike, you do you. Fill it with bees.
Listen, we can go split skis. Like, there's 2 guys here, and you can take one.
That sounds good. Okay. And he just, begins to crouch down over the left-hand one and just begin to slowly peel the face off the floor.
Gross.
Oh, yes, face down, innit?
So the problem is actually getting to the body. If we're playing like a D&D game, this is a 10-foot by 10-foot pit, which they fell into.
Pit of acid, sure.
Soil's committed to the bit.
Yeah, I'm made of bees, so I can really just send my bees to fill this guy and see him from the inside out, no problems.
That seems fantastic.
Listen, I'm happy to do this in like a remote way, if you like.
Heike, I reckon some kind of B-roll. It seems interesting. What skills do you reckon it is to do with an investigation of a corpse from a slight distance via bees? There's a sentence you don't say in normal games.
I'm going to use my many eyes and use the discern skill.
Oh, nice. I like that. Technology is the domain we're in presently.
I don't think I have any of that.
You have 2 dice then.
Yes. I got a 2 and a 6.
Well, that is what we call in the business a mixed success. So you take stress. I'm going to take it to fortune.
I can't believe you've done this.
Okay, you look around inside the bees, which is awesome, and you discover multiple things. Okay, first thing you sort of realise, they were shot in the back on the way. They were running.
I turn around and I put on my sunglasses and I say, "Und there's been a murder." Been a murder.
Soil just goes, yeah!
Thank you.
That is, of course, a traditional high elf response.
Yeah.
The other thing you've actually realised, they're slightly dissolving, but they've got stuff aboard them. You reckon they've got, formatological Springerdukes.
Mm-hmm.
I loved that album. I thought it was great.
Springerdukes. The Springerdukes become part of the train. They're attached to the pumper. There's basically a load of gizmos you could probably get from the corpse if you wanted.
Cute.
But of course, probably not via bees.
Yeah. Have to get dirty. How long have these guys been here? What's the vibe?
Well, they haven't been entirely dissolved by the pool of acid they're lying in.
Fair dues.
Probably in the last day, maybe. Though there's not much face left, so possibly 2 days.
But it isn't the acid what killed them, as it were. They fell into the acid.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, it's a good question, actually. They probably died from the chemicals.
Ooh.
They were successfully escaping, and they were distracted and fell into the pool.
Okay.
Escaping, huh?
This is a very complicated murder mystery. I'm going to be real with you. It's not giving locked room, but I feel like we're not too far away.
Would it help if I shifted and physically dragged him out?
Probably not worth getting in, old bean.
Yeah, I mean, it would still, unfortunately, it still kind of hurts if I'm in that form and take. So,
yes. What if we could drain the acid out of this pool, though?
Well, there were a bunch of pipes and cables and tubing up there. I wonder if we can cut one down or knock one down or pull one. Maybe we can do something like that.
Listen, I'm good to do that, but if anyone's doing the siphon bit, I'm going to say no, thank you, because I'm going to need these lips later.
Yep. Also, Bagsy, not it.
So, Searle, you're doing it then.
But Soil doesn't have any lips, so he's
So he can't do it. Looks like it's on you, Velvet.
Let's rip down some cables. Fuck it. Let's get some tubes.
When I made up this encounter, I thought we were just going to jump over the pool and prod the body, but I think we're going to stay here for the rest of the session, and I'm enjoying it enormously.
I think what I would like to try and do, detach some stuff from the ceiling to try and build a platform or like explore a little better, rather than siphon it out, which I worry is not only physically impossible but very dangerous.
Boo.
Sorry, is try and find a way to like poke something in, weaken the wall, break apart the side of this pool a bit to drain it.
The whole structure is like a series of passageways going down. There must be a block drain or something.
Great.
That's a genuinely good and practical idea, Castor, which feels out of character.
All right.
He knows about drains.
Pop off, King.
Castor wrenches a big pipe off the wall, like a big sort of rusted pipe, and starts sort of like poking around like he's cleaning the pool.
The person who'd be best at this is actually Hiker.
I would like to assist, but I would like Castor to try it and fail first.
Very, very sensible. I think I'm adding no dice to this roll.
Okay, cool.
That's a 6.
Hey, you do it.
That's a mix of sex.
Everyone's happy.
Yeah, that's exactly how it works.
I'm stoked, personally.
Oh, well done. You got Fortune Fallout.
Hey! I reckon it's whoever shot these guys is coming back, and we can hear him coming down the corridor.
You hear these people heading approaching you. 3 guys come out. There's a guy who's got a big guy. He's wearing improvised armour on his head, which is basically, it looks like a kettle to you. He's got steampunk stuff in the back, and that smoke is coming out of his head.
I love him.
Oh.
Another one with a slightly smaller, kind of like similar pot type thing beside him. And another guy who's basically got 2 really big knives. Big kettle's got, looks like a sawn-off shotgun.
Jesus.
Little kettle, it's got like a sniper rifle, and the other one's got all these knives.
Big kettle, little kettle, and knives.
Yeah.
Again, another great album.
Good evening. Nice work there. Some nice drainage going there, mate.
This isn't my first drainage rodeo.
We're trying to drawing straws who's actually going to do that later and get that thing of ours. But thank you very much. Little kettle's hanging back with it and has got the element of like, I could go to the ground and aim and fire my sniper rifle anytime I want. And Skinner is a bit closer and is doing a kind of a fancy knife thing. To be honest, it's pretty low rent compared to Isabella's from last session. But like, it's still someone who's very fond of their knives.
Okay. I think Big Kettle said the thing of ours, and Velvet speaks up. Thing of yours?
Yeah, we have our business venture, you understand here.
Right.
Many people, of course, choose to go and rob the shuntyard. That makes sense. It's a great place.
Great place.
Let me get ahead of you slightly. I assume you're kind of lying in wait for people who come back with goods.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. You got it. You are really all clever.
Yeah, I hear that a lot.
Quite literally cutting out the middleman.
Yeah. So here's what's going to happen. I know that my auntie really doesn't like people being late.
Oh no, we're not going to stop you. You're allowed to go. We just give us that thing.
What, the gewgaws?
The thing you found on the corpse. Our business is very simple. Like, you can go down to the shuntyard as often as you like, but when you come back, you give us the stuff.
Oh, well, we'll give it to you on the way back then.
Castor, you kind of realise something else. These are the problem with the connection.
Oh, right. Okay.
Acid Lake was a barrier. These guys are definitely more of a barrier.
Listen, boys, I'm sure everything will be fine. And I'll walk up and not get up in their face, but definitely, like, approach them. Stupidly close, I'll say. I'll throw down, like, a blanket or a cloth and start spreading out these things to take a look at them. And this is all a distraction, because I want to cast the spell which makes everyone want to party, but I'm going to focus it directly on the sniper.
What's everyone else doing, by the way, while this is going on?
Searle has seen this grift from Castor before. He knows that... He's seen Castor trying to talk his way out of situations before. He knows this is one of those situations, and I think he realises the 4 of us are in a lot of danger if Castor fucks up, which undoubtedly he will.
Oh, fine.
Hiker?
Cool. I'm like entirely made of bees.
Mm-hmm.
So the question is, do we want to get handsy or do you want to be like, kill yourself?
Is that a trick you've got?
I mean, no, but I can make it happen. I believe in myself, okay? I'm very persuasive.
You do have the intoxicant ability, so you could, if you work together, you could basically convince them to do something absolutely absurd in lieu of fighting them.
I think having a bit of a barney could be fun.
Okay, good. In which case, I think Hiker's like, oh, it's like we come, we fix the drain, and you like do nothing, and then you want to like take the prizes. Okay.
Oh, don't antagonize them, Hiker. These are simple folk.
And Hiker, like, flips up her head. So her jaw, like, basically unhinges back. And just bees come out of it. That's my preparation.
I rolled I got a 9.
That's pretty good.
Castor takes a bump of dagger off just fantasy cocaine off one of his knuckles and starts clapping in that 4/4 beat. And again, it's echoing too much. It's like, oh boys, what a haul we've got, hey? Come along now. I turn, point directly at the sniper at the back, and he feels the frantic pleasure of the Sky Corps rush into every corner of his tiny fucking mind. Is he also wearing a kettle?
Yeah, he's little Cal.
Yeah, cool. It starts boiling.
Yeah, it's like kind of getting hot. Is that kind of vibe?
Yeah.
Because mechanically speaking, it just makes it easy to hit him. But of course, narratively speaking, it makes him crazy for drugs. What he actually does is kind of like, he immediately opens his packet and starts snorting an enormous amount of white powder.
Yeah!
He drops the gun, and the other ones haven't realised this yet. They've lost their sniper coverage.
I am immediately going to steal all of the fantasy cocaine, and I'm out of there, buddy. The two of you can deal with Skinner and Big Kettle. That's me and the sniper are going to one-on-one this.
Big Kettle's just going to go on like, what the fuck are you doing?
Flick the blanket up, and the D6 tech resource goes fucking everywhere.
Who is most ready to act at that moment?
I think Velvet is reasonably in a position to, having calmly
Yeah.
walked up and was kind of waiting for a moment where people start to freak out.
You see Big Kettle's actually about to raise that shotgun of theirs.
Velvet Monte Carlo unfurls like a lily out of, this time now that we've seen the cold open, out of her chest outwards.
Nice.
The kind of true form underneath is much more angular than the free-floating glass orbs in like a planetarium. This is a gyre of knives. They're all so pretty and crystalline, but so sharp.
I like to imagine it sort of like folds back on her, and it folds in between the viewer and her human body and just sort of obscures it, and then it's no longer there.
An astounding match cut, and kind of cutting, because when I transform into my true form, I stun people unaware that this could happen into silence.
Does everyone take D4 damage as well?
Yes, they take D4 stress. I'll take D4 echo stress and make them, like, stare at me.
Are you still on 200 echo stress, by the way, Nathan?
Not that high. I'm only currently at, like, 3. But,
Okay, cool.
Velvet's total stress is 10, though.
so I am guaranteed to take fallout on the other side of this.
Big Kettle and Skinner are both staring at you in utter horror.
I will take it to echo stress. I rolled a 4, but have 1 in echo resistance, so I take 3. This puts my total to 13, so I am definitely guaranteed to eat shit.
Let's see how big a shit.
Sadly, you have 13. You clear all your stress. Congratulations. Okay, you take this thing, and everything's fine right now. You're perfectly fine. You've transformed into a beautiful, resplendent monster. And people have literally gone, that kind of, in the 6 beat, you can almost hear it. Their hearts, they're all standing there, staring at you, murderous weapons only half raised.
While they're in this moment of kind of like being shocked because I have time to do a single action before they kind of get their shit together, Velvet Monte Carlo glides up to the knife and just very calmly takes the God's rib knife that she bought previously and just places it firmly and decisively into his throat.
Elegant.
Like posting a letter.
Right. Kill.
Yes, please. I have kill D6. I have mastery while I'm transformed. You said we're in technology as a domain?
Yeah.
Cool. 3d10. Ooh. That is a 10.
Fuck me. That means you roll a D8.
Good.
So D6 normal damage. Critical means you go up 1 dice size.
It takes 4 damage.
You realise they've actually got armour plates on them, so they actually only take 2. He cuts bleeding and kind of goes back clearly angry and murderous. He kind of clicks free for a second. Sorry, what are you doing? Because basically, Knife Guy is going to go for Velvet in immediately the rage snapping.
I think Searle was initially joining in with the clapping from Castor, and sort of like, as Castor runs off, just sort of slowly petering out and fuck's sake, and is just going out of rhythm, sort of go from 4 to 3 to 6 beats, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, before seeing the Knife Guy just run towards Velvet, is instinctively just going to reach forward, and this final 6th clap, both hands just land on either side of Knives' head, and is going to cast Entropy. My hands become Kill D8.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
I know we're a podcast, but you should have seen everyone's face there. Everyone was genuinely excited by everyone having D8 hands, especially Hiker.
Listen, I'll take any hands I can get.
Exactly.
Well, that's a 1.
Ooh. That's not good.
It's fun, though.
It's true. You can learn about blood stress.
Knives is armed with knives. You do it, like, basically attach his head, and especially see bits of his head flaking off and it's burning away. And, There's something weird about this guy. He doesn't care. He's looking at you with the grin and immediately just starts stabbing you. Yeah, stabbing you repeatedly. His knives are brutal, which I believe is roll 2 dice and take the worst, and it's D8 stress. So you take a D8 stress to your blood. I roll 2 8s.
Fuck, mate.
So you take 8 stress to your blood. He is cutting you to pieces. If just a piece of tapestry or some kind of that kind of thing, you'd be impressed. As it is your torso, less so.
I have 2 protection in blood.
Listeners, that means you'll not take major fallout if I rolls 5 or less. You take minor fallout, so clear your stress.
Searle is just staggering back. Very quick succession of blades, just
Yeah.
almost like this pincushion, and it's sort of mingling in amongst the patchwork of tattoos that he has. And there is something familiar and something very, very welcome about the sensation.
This is ringing bells. Your minor fallout is bleeding. At the end of each situation where you have this fallout, you take D4 stress to blood. Until you get rid of this injury, you're going to continue to bleed. Hiker, you're the person who could probably act here, as in there's bees going on, Searle's being stabbed, Castor and Little Castle are taking drugs, and Big Guy is slowly coming together, having seen, what the fuck's going on here, he says.
Hiker, seeing the damage that's been done to Searle, I think is going to obstruct Searle, essentially, like just fill this guy's face with bees. And then I would like to take a hive tool to the back of the head, which is a D4 brutal.
Cool. Going for Skinner or the Big Kettle?
I'm going for Skinner.
He seems to be enjoying it too much. At least Big Kettle could talk to you.
I feel bad that Searle's been stabbed to shit. Ooh, that is a 9.
Nice. Roll 2d4 and tell me the highest.
4.
Do you want to describe how you take down Skinner?
Oh, thank God.
Great. I see Searle. I'm like, don't do that. He's like already gone. I put my hand out and his face he's like, fuck, it's fucking bees. And while he's like, Jesus, bees. I take the hive tool and I just ram it into his cerebellum in a surgical and upsetting way.
I reckon that we get this one kind of last moment. Big Kettle has finally got the big gun up. I think Velvet's the only person obvious, because frankly, Velvet's still that weird-ass crystal thing. How are you going to try to get out of the way of this attack?
Ooh, okay. I think instead of moving out of the way, these roiling shards of glass look at Big Kettle, and how can this thing look? It doesn't have eyes. And a Velvet Monte Carlo question mark says, I strongly recommend you put the gun down. It won't end well for you if you fire that. I'm going to roll Compel instead.
That's great. Compel technology, I reckon.
Both of those are 2, so that attempt to intimidate does not work.
It's like you can fuck right off with your fancy words. Get D8 right through you. You take 1 point of stress to your blood.
I am going to use my once possession to shift that to Echo and take none. He shoots into the void and nothing happens.
Nice.
There is that kind of moment. As he does that, I think that's actually enough to go. You realise, oh no, he's the thinker out of these 3.
You seem to be curious as to how it works. I could come closer and show you.
We are a research team, and we're researching whether it was possible to shoot a shotgun for a person without killing them, and you've helped our research. And also, we were hoping someone one day would kill Skinner. That guy's a nutter. Frankly, we were living in fear of him, and we were moved into this line of work by him. So thank you for freeing us.
Yeah. As he's kind of like making his peace, Velvet just drifts up during that entire kind of conversation. We're going to be going down to the shunt yard for business. And when we come back, I'm going to ask politely that you're not here. I'm sure you agree.
Yeah, I mean, definitely.
You're going to go back to Derelictus and write your thesis.
Yeah, we're going to write our theses. That's great. We'll do that. Come on, Little Kettle, he says to the other one.
Camera pans around, the pair of us are doing lines off the floor.
Just off the floor.
Oh, you're an embarrassment to the research community, says Big Kettle to Little Kettle.
I like that he's doing them through his little snoot on the front of his kettle. I think that'd be really cute.
Yeah, exactly, I'm a gentleman. It's like, that kind of, I'm a teapot, I'm a spout kind of, like, it comes out his nose like this. They sort of head off, so see you around, I'm sure we'll cite you in the book.
I don't know why they're still holding it up.
They've got to have their dignity. So Big Kettle and Little Kettle head off. They've actually left big double dose of dagger. D8 of dagger.
It's weird, you think there's a double dose, there's only a single dose.
You got D8 dag.
D8, oh bloody hell, Kieron, that's great.
As the kind of like tension fades, Velvet tries to pull herself back together. Considering I took major fallout and I don't know what it is, what happens upon Velvet trying to recomposite herself?
Well, it goes well until it doesn't. It's the moment, like, your ribcage just won't close properly anymore. So now you've got to open up like this flower of ribs, and your kind of eldritch heart is out there and kind of pumping visibly from your body, like a balloon inflating and deflating.
Mm-hmm.
The major fallout blooded, so it's basically the heart is showing its presence with you. I mean, obviously it's creepy as hell. The major problem is anytime you take blood fallout, you roll 2 dice and take the worst. So it's basically everything is brutal to you now until you fix this particular problem.
Absolutely.
But it's a great look.
I seem to be having a bit of trouble pulling myself together again. It'll pass. But is everybody all right?
Looks great on you.
So roll d4.
That is a 3.
It's cool. You don't suffer fallout. You got 3 blooded. Anyone want to do anything about your friend bleeding to death?
I'll happily do amend.
How do you heal, Hiker?
I can guess. I've actually got an idea as to how Hiker might do a thing.
Go on.
Is that like a sweet salve?
It's a perfectly above board first aid kit, which you purchased from Wilco. No, I imagine it's bees.
Actually, I was going to use beeswax, so get fucked.
Ah, okay, sorry.
Yeah, I can't believe you would just typecast me this way. So, beeswax cast fill to like stop the blood from coming out, essentially. And then roll mend and hope that I don't fuck you up, my guy.
That sounds great.
8.
Hey.
I don't fuck you up.
That's pretty good. Success. Remove your minor fallout. You're like a very sweet-smelling corpse. That's great. Everyone's recovering. And actually, take a D8 boon, because as you've cleared the major pathway, you've kind of got a major thing out of the way to actually get into the shunt yard.
Tremendous. We got 7.
Nice. You're getting there.
As we're walking along and looking at Velvet's exposed ribcage and the just heart that's in the centre of it.
Sir, don't stare. It's not polite.
Sorry, yes. I'll just... And he reaches down to not the mask that covers his own features, but the golden mask that hangs by his side. That which, a long time ago, belonged to one that he vaguely remembers in the shadows of his mind to have been his wife. And just unclasping it, here, just in case you need something to keep it safe against the elements.
Yeah, it's funny. This new model I had installed quite a while ago is surprisingly weather resistant. I did once hear that it is capable of surviving the heat death of the universe. I might not be able to, though, but it will go through a car wash, will go down water 200 meters without getting damage, and is sand resistant. So surprisingly well protected, even if I'm not. So
it's automatically updated every minute from a massive heart in Switzerland.
So that's no.
I really.
It's fine. And he just like clasps it back and just walks off, a little dejected.
Just like culturally, what's that? Is that the equivalent of giving someone your dead wife's wedding ring, or her clothes?
Kind of the ring thing.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Masks are interesting. I mean, especially like obviously we had Isabella last time with her cutting up 3 masks and putting them together. They're loaded in that kind of way, aren't they?
Yeah.
Anyway,
onward.
Onwards, delving onwards. You head on down. There's one moment when you kind of like one of the cabling actually is a snake, which you had to go beneath.
Oh no!
No, he's nice.
Okay, do you want to speak to the snake actually?
Yeah.
Hey, absolutely.
And hello, do you have a lisp?
I really like the way that you don't have the power to talk to animals, but Hiker believes she can talk to animals.
It's easy to talk to animals. Just making them understand you's the problem.
Listen, I'm part dog, okay? The lines are blurrier than you would think. And I think...
1, you're part feline, and 2, it's a snake, and 3, it's made of metal.
Am I not part hyena?
Hyenas are felid. But they behave like dogs.
This is an educational podcast.
Wow.
I know that from Batman.
Will this make the cut? We'll find out. Anyway, the snake is getting closer and closer to your face.
Great. I'm just going to take one of my fucked up hands. And then I want to pick it up.
That is actually... You pick up... It's friendly for a second, and then its mouth opens very wide and wraps it entirely round your head. Hiker's head is now inside the enormous mouth of this mechanical snake. This weird amount of panic, and then something just happens. A hand reaches over, grasps the snake just above your head and squeezes, and then gently, with a plopping sound, pulls the snake free. It's Auntie Grace who's there, who's suddenly beside you all. She takes the snake and then gently strokes its head and lets it go free.
Auntie, like genuine, almost plaintive. They're my friends, Auntie. You can't just walk up and do this.
They're gonna think that you're cooler than me.
Ask her out if she wants some drugs.
No, I can't. And you know I'm loath to ask you for favors, and you've done so much help getting us here because we definitely couldn't have done so by ourselves. She has tried to take off her jacket and rearrange it to cover the open chest.
The enormous, scintillating, roiling void of chaos.
Unfortunately, the open chest is conceptual rather than physical, so it just opens in the jacket. It's pointless. I'm having a little bit of a wardrobe malfunction.
The heart wants what the heart wants. And the heart wants to be outside your body.
Yes,
It is now the time for your heart to be outside your body. Soon the time will come when you have no heart. Cherish it for now.
Velvet blushes furiously and looks at the ground like a kid who's been told off.
Can we all take drugs? I find drugs makes this easier.
Castor's eyes light up. More so than they were already. Like, possibly slightly literally light up. He's so excited. Yes, I have just the thing! I found some drugs earlier from a man. And like, I'd like to imagine this, like, it just looks like an old-timey flour sack, but it's full of like moody cocaine. Just slam it down.
The cocaine is passed around. Generally she sits there and like the fluid drips down around her. You know, she's like made of the blue stuff and it sort of forms like a circle around you. And she kind of urges everyone to sit down to talk. Here's an interesting question. Velvet, you've known Auntie for a long time. How come you've never connected the fact she's made of blue stuff and has 6 things inside her and sounds like ice?
As I have it written down or recall, the thing in my dream was purple rather than blue. But I like the fact that it's like it's a perception thing. There's a specific type of color blindness, for example, that is blue-purple in terms of not being able to differentiate so easily. And maybe it's just a matter of not considered her to be purple, but has considered her to be blue, and it's just a perceptual issue. And in this more altered state of consciousness and spending time, like you wouldn't take drugs in front of your auntie, even if she is an otherworldly being. It's just not a thing you would do. But in this one particular state, the perception of the self has aligned better than before, and now it makes sense.
So, why have you come down here to us?
Because now is the time to try to save all that exists. You must reach the party and ensure it ends well.
And what if we... And he looks to his shoulder. Don't.
I do not think that will happen.
Is that right?
The heart is chaos. The heart is always chaos. That is how it should be. But now, something is wrong with the heart. Between here and the depths, there is a zone of... She kind of like... all the fentanyl faces in her body look utterly disturbed. Wrong. You cannot travel through there. Not with immortal flesh. You need a being of greater power, greater potency, greater connection.
A dragon!
She reaches over to your face and kisses you gently on the forehead.
Oh, great news. Does it feel like full fucking magic?
Oh, see, the fact she has no lips, remember? She's like smooth, like, her head's a smooth globe.
How's she doing the drugs? Are she just sort of rubbing them against the face?
No, she kind of puts it to her face and all the little people inside her head. Like, it transfixes them.
You just see something like individual grains of cocaine.
Yeah. There's a bit like that. Like one of them's like licking this enormous grain of cocaine, like it's a delicious ball. Yeah, there's something weird about it though, Castor, and it's nagging you and you can't quite place it.
Hang on. Sorry, there's something weird about what?
About the little people inside.
I had suspected they weren't quite on the level.
They are weird. As she stops kissing you and starts explaining, the dragon is a dream of the child. This is something you have learned. It is powered by a child's dream. If his dream can be replaced, it can be given a new dream. A dream of getting to the centre of the heart. However, you are very weak and fleshy. You cannot defeat an erotic leviathan. You must come upon it when it's sleeping. To do that, you must follow it. To follow it, you must find it. To find it, you must bring it to you. To bring it to you, you must create a lure. To create a lure, you must create its food. To create its food, you must take part of one of the great trains and decorate it according to certain symbols. She starts speaking to Velvet. What sort of things do you think about in terms of teaching? When you're like your mother and other witches taught you, what did that look like?
If you think about like kind of historic witchcraft, there's a degree of oratory nature to it. Like, you know, you remember the things and tell other people, and if you don't write it down, other people can't steal it. But I think this is definitely much more... It's an archived thing. Since we saw in the cold open, there was the kind of daubing the walls in spirals and symbol work. That is a larger representation. The heart that Velvet has in her is just ingrained with generations of witches having discovered how to make the heart do things and inscribe it in the heart. And then everybody who has the heart now knows that knowledge, even if they don't understand it yet. And I guess this is the providing of the understanding.
The witches do it together, and she just starts drawing with her own body.
Mm-hmm.
And it's basically how to decorate one of these trains to become something which will hopefully attract the dragon. Then you can follow the dragon to wherever it sleeps. The actual whole message is complete, and she starts finishing her drugs and takes one final enormous slurp and stands up and says, "This is what I have taught you. Thank you for listening. It is a pleasure to have known you. Use the knowledge well. Make right decisions. Do not end all that exists." And she steps back. Velvet, she kind of gestures you to go first.
Again, even though this Ice Angel, Auntie Gracie, has been nothing but nice and helpful and kind and encouraging to everybody, Velvet, rolls her eyes and goes, "Yes, Auntie, I will do my best to help all their wishes come true. And I'll do it with a smile, because, you got to do the service with a smile, right?"
You're so brave and so kind, and I'm so sorry. And she does a little curtsy and says goodbye. Then she lets Searle go next.
Do I feel a touch, an aura, I suppose? A feel of that same feeling that pulled me back from running towards Aunt Gracie when we first met.
A wifely sort of hand-shaped feeling.
Maybe, yeah.
What you actually feel is you're kind of scared of her in a way you can't quite understand. Imagine if you were in a nightclub and you're having drinks and you're just generally hanging around and you haven't met someone and it's a nice person, then there's another nice person, and then there's this tiger, and then this other nice person, and you're just all kind of drinking casually, you're just hanging out, and there's this tiger there, and everyone is, "Oh, the tiger's there, and it's not doing anything. It's fine, it's a tiger." But you're in a room with a tiger. That's the kind of feeling you have. There's something on a fundamental level that you should not be socialising with this, and that it could only end badly to be anywhere near it. That's the feeling you get. And frankly, you kind of want to run. And for somebody who's kind of died once, the idea that the kind of the primal fear is there is really surprising.
Just looking at her through this golden mask he wears, his eyes just flick between each of the 6 figures within her, and "I hope we shall not meet again."
And she's just silent at you, watching.
And he just turns.
Then it's Castor's turn to go.
I have this same feeling, but I'm into it. This is precisely my kind of woman. I thought Velvet was cool, but this woman's really triggering something in my R complex that makes me want to shit myself and run away, and I love that in a woman. I will walk past her, bow as beautifully as I can, which is not terribly beautifully given everything that's happened and all the drugs, and try to charm her. Try to give her a smile she'll remember. And I am nothing to this creature. I am a worm-like smear of flesh to this creature.
It's like Sam trying to hit on Galadriel.
Yeah,
That's kind of the energy that's going on here.
Can I please roll Compel plus Occult to see how much damage I take?
Yeah, I was about to say, it's a good roll, actually, counter roll. She kind of curtsies, and she's matching your gaze.
Oh my god.
And it's very tricky if I match the gaze of somebody with no eyes. I mean, or rather, 12 eyes, but what do you on?
5.
You take 4 stress to mind.
Good stuff.
And Hiker, you're about to go past. Please say what you're going to do before you step through.
Ideally, I'd try and avoid eye contact.
About to walk through, avoid eye contact, and she just puts one arm in front of you, blocking the passageway.
I thought, we have a wedding to get to, and you were, really
No.
cool
You
for
cannot
that.
know. They are going to the wedding. You should not go to the wedding.
Oh, okay. Is there, something wrong with me?
No, there's nothing wrong with you. You cannot go to the wedding.
Well,
It'll be better for everyone.
Yeah, but, I've come so far, and, I know what Velvet said, and Velvet was like, "Are you sure she's going to like you when you're all made of bees?" And, she left when I wasn't made of bees. And, I get it. I know, okay? Look at me. Look at me, I know. I know, okay? I put on a brave face, but I know. Alright? And everyone's like, "No, she'll be fine. And it'll all work out." And, I know. I know what's going to happen. I know what I look like. I know what I am. Okay? But that is, my choice to make.
There's a weird soft sound. It's you can't work out what it is. And you realize, droplets are starting to form on the curvature of her smooth face and, run down her. And you realize they're tears.
Yeah, I think I'm also crying. But, I'm pretending like I'm not.
Hiker, there's nothing wrong with you. You are beautiful. And she loves you. Your wife loves you. That is why it makes it worse. And that is why you should not go any further. You cannot know. And I will not let you. It is my only hope. If you have to go through me.
Okay. But how can you do that, though? You can look at me and say that there's nothing wrong with you and she loves you. but you tell me not to go. Like, there's no situation where that's going to make me go, okay?
Is this the bit where she said one of us would have to kill her? I say to the other two as we walk down the corridor.
Well, like, I thought it was, like, whoever gets to you first, and I feel like I'm the fourth in the line, so that was kind of a lie, actually. And I think that, yeah, I'm gonna be like, I don't want to, but, like, you haven't given me any other...
Hiker, it's fine.
And then, as you say, Hiker, it's fine. I think it's Hive Tool straight to the undercarriage.
It goes in smoothly. It's like stabbing a pool. It's like, that's the thing. It's like water. Like Skinner went on soil, was so brutal. This is elegant. The tool moves inside her. The people inside her sit down as if they're going to sleep, curling into little balls. Then she falls to the ground and curls around your feet and starts to dissolve into a pool of the purple, spreading out. And there's a sound of ice. 6 icy tears form a small, perfect circle at your feet. It's a D10 cursed item.
It's a very expensive item.
Yeah, can I take a moment and just be like, I think as the hive hook fork thing goes in and out, I'm like, how can you say that she's there and she loves me and give me no choice? And she's just like punctuating each word with a thing. And she's like, you think I would give up knowing what I know now?
With the kind of like dissolving remnants of the icy angel moving away in Velvet, who started to walk back and then waited for you. And with this deed done, she comes up.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Was she like a good aunt or like...
She's amazing and I don't like her. But it takes a lot to make somebody's wishes come true. You have to do some horrendous things to make a wish come true. And this might just be one of the easier things you'll have to go through for your wish. So I do want to ask, is it still your wish?
I think Hiker takes a moment and lets the hive tool clatter to the ground. I think she looks you in your unfolding chest and then in your face, and she says, yeah, but you know that it's mine. It doesn't have to be yours. Like, you don't have to carry it if you don't want to. And I'm sorry that I asked that of you, because I didn't... It wasn't fair of me to do so.
No. She hears you but cuts you off. Why does everybody keep asking me that? I know you're asking from a position of kindness, so I'm not mad, but please stop asking me that question.
Yeah, no, cool. No problems. Cool. And just like to take a moment for everybody, your aunt just said it's really bad for me to go, so if anyone wants to stop me, like, now is your chance. But I am going to react.
After I watched you shank my auntie like 10 times, no thanks.
I'm setting a personal boundary of, like, say now, if you're not cool with it, and I, like, respect that.
It's your invite.
Yeah, cool, nice, no problems, let's go.
So you think the trip to the heart will be worth it, do you?
God, yes. So we're going to the greatest party the universe has ever seen. I bet you'll get to die there. I bet we'll all get to die there, sir.
We'll just pan out and leave you free, starting to head down towards the shunt yard, leaving that the awful puddle behind, merging back to the heart.
Just like canonically, Castor doesn't believe she's dead. Castor believes she can't die. Mm-hmm. She's too pretty.
There's one other thing that might be worrying about Castor there. Castor's going away. We kind of get closer and closer to Castor's eyes, and we kind of realise, like what Castor saw. He kind of realised that one of those little people inside, one of the people inside her, those little dancing figures, one of them was him, and that's where we'll leave the session.
Ba 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 ba!
So I've been Grant Howitt. If you want to find me, you can go to the woods and slay a goat and yell my name 3 times, whereupon I will appear and sell you a game. You can also go to rowanrickendeckard.com and download many of the hundreds of things that I've written. I've been joined tonight by Naomi.
I have been Naomi Clarke, and you can find me at Naomi Thinks It all over the internet. And if you want to hear more sad shit, you can go to @thekilder and listen to my show. And if you want to hear more funny shit, you can go to @realmspod and listen to me in Liminal London.
And Nathan.
Hi, I have been your androgynous android game show host from the future, Nathan Blades. If you want to keep hearing my voice speaking in your ears, all smooth like, you can hear me as the Captain Oromar Vale on the Campaign Skyjacks podcast. If you'd like to check out some of the tabletop RPG writing I've done, have you happened to have bought the Spire Shadow missions? I do have a scenario in there. Thank you for having me.
And Edward.
I am Edward Spence. You can find me at Edward_Spence_ everywhere on the internet. I am a game designer and very happy forever GM. You can find me running games of The One Ring over on Wounded Warrior Project, where we are telling the imagined next chapter in Middle-earth. Or over on Stellar Luna's channel, you can go check out our 10-episode and award-nominated miniseries, Beyond the Brook, an autumnal tale about 5 children lost in a mysterious wilderness known simply as the Backwoods. We would love to see you there.
And finally, our GM tonight has been Kieron.
I'm Kieron Gillen. If you want to hear my voice, you can probably go to a Midlands town and find random nasal men. We all sound vaguely similar. They're basically interchangeable. If you want to know about me, I'm KieronGillen.com. There's links to most of my stuff. The best thing is my newsletter where I link interesting new stuff. That's about it. Me, I'm Kieron Gillen. I talk and write.
Beautiful. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Till Death Do Us Part, a Rowan Rook and Deckard actual play. This episode was produced by Naomi Clarke, with editing by Maddy, Searle, and Oliver Moore. The theme was by Nick Seatman, with additional music by Kai Pritchard. The GM was Kieron Gillen. Searle was played by Ed Spence. Velvet was played by Nathan Blades. Castor was played by yours truly, Grant Howitt. And Heike was played by Naomi Clarke. If you'd like to learn more about Heart the City Beneath and our other fine role-playing games, go to rrdgames.com and buy something, why don't you?
Really good roll. I always like it when people roll well.
Mm-hmm. So do we.
I mean, especially when you've got like 15 minutes left of the session, you're hoping you would get to shut yard at the end of the session and you make a good roll. That's great.